Hi, I'm Whit. For most of you, I'm new. I'm the one flying this camera around. If you look hard enough, you can see me in most of these shots. Sometimes I try to hide. Before we get the episode started, I think there are a few things you should know about me. I was a theater kid in high school, I picked up a camera, started building things, and now I work for a treehouse building company, and I'm making a nature show. I don't exactly know how I got here. Sometimes it's hard to see how you got where you are. How did I end up here? I think that's a good place to start. I grew up here, but I think like a lot of people, I had to leave before I could really see it. You know what I mean? A squirrel. Every town is its own ecosystem, and you don't really notice it when you live inside of it. You just think, this is life. And also, these trees are crazy cool. Look how twisted they are. I love it. This town's got some good trees. I keep coming back to this idea that connection isn't accidental, that things that shaped you, the places, the people, they were always part of this relationship that I just wasn't watching. I was a C student in high school science. The C stood for curiosity. I was more curious about what was going on outside of the class than inside of the class. Claremont, California. I grew up here. And I came back recently because one of my best friends, Craig, was performing at the LA Opera. As I said in the last episode, how long have we known each other, Craig?
Oh gosh, since we were 2.
And we've been collaborating for as long as I can remember. Just before I left Claremont, a friend of mine and I were talking about ecology, which got me thinking about where I come from. And because I was back in town, I thought, who better to ask than the person who tried to teach me about it nearly 30 years ago, Mr. Hoyle, my high school biology teacher. Oh, there he is.
There he is, looking for the day.
My high school science teacher, Mr. Hoyle, was in his very first year of teaching when I walked into his class. I was one of his very first students. This year, he retires.
Ecology is all about interactions. So the study of ecology would be the study of how organisms interact with other organisms, but also how organisms interact with the environment. So this includes things like food webs, competition, predation. Anytime you have an organism interacting in any certain way, that's ecology.
The word ecology was coined in 1866 by German zoologist Ernst Haeckel in his book General Morphology of Organisms. For the first component, he used the Greek word ekos, meaning house, dwelling, or habitation. So ecology is the study of the relationship between organisms and their environment, as well as the dependencies that link living things to landscapes and climates and the factors that influence life. In other words, and quite literally, ecology is the study of homes, the places where organisms live and die and dwell, and all of the relationships tied up in that. So now ecology is both a scientific discipline and a core element of the environmental movement. And it additionally encompasses things like pollution, conservation, and humanity's impact on ecosystems, which again are our homes and our habitats.
Our childhood home, our habitat, was Claremont, the city of trees and degrees, and was where I learned to sing.
And where I learned how to play ultimate frisbee. Frisbee, by the way, that's a thread that keeps popping up. Nice catch! And now I'm going to talk to an ecologist who I know through ultimate frisbee. Hi, Joy.
How are you, Whit?
I'm good. Joy Baccei was an ecologist at Yosemite National Park and is now the director of the UC Merced Vernal Pools and Grassland Reserve. I started off by asking her if she could define ecology for me.
Ecology is really just the study of connections and relationships in nature. So it's the study of how water, soils, plants, animals, climate, even people influence one another across a landscape.
This reminds me of a conversation I was just having with our lead engineer at Treetop Builders. His name is Joe Salinas. We'll hop over to him real quick and then we'll come back to Joy.
I spent the kind of first 25 years of my working life in the Army. One of our mates was killed in 2006. A group of us got together and decided we want to honor this guy's memory. We started a foundation in his honor. It's the Rick Hammer Foundation, about 52 acres outside of Fort Bragg. High deployments, families would come there all the time. The husband would kiss his wife on the cheek and off he goes, and she's left there with 3 kids and doesn't know a single soul. So she could come to Rick's place and find 20 other women just like her. And it was a place to connect, build community. And we decided that the central feature of this whole park was going to be what we ended up calling Ewok Village. It was a tree house complex, a bunch of platforms, rope bridges, zip lines. At one point, we would have a trampoline 15 feet up in the air.
Wow.
Minivan would pull up in the parking lot. Kids would pile out of the car, and they would see this structure towering up above them. And there was just this look of wonder. And at first, they'd look to the mom, and Mom, can I do that? And Mom kind of looks around. She's unsure. I say, come on up. When it came time to retire, my wife suggested, why don't you do that for a living? You really seem to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I said, that's not a real job. Nobody's going to pay me to do that. Sure enough, Treetop Builders gave me a job offer, and it's I'll never look back.
Sometimes our paths branch like that, not in a straight line. We have an idea of where we're going, but then we bump into something and we change directions. But what I want to know is, why do things branch?
Okay, why do things branch? Like when lightning strikes, why doesn't it just go straight down in a line?
Yeah.
Things tend to take the path of least resistance. Okay, so like if a lightning is striking and then it hits resistance here, it's going to shoot over here.
Yeah.
Same thing when a river is flowing. If it hits a boulder here, it's going to do this, and then it hits a big boulder here and it splits into this. So water's finding the path of least resistance.
Maybe that's true for everything, for the trees and the roots and all systems. Something tells me the wetlands are like that too. The thing that's telling me that is that I already interviewed Joy, and now she's about to talk about it, so let's go back to her.
So a watershed sounds like a technical term, but it's actually pretty simple. Rain might fall where you're standing now. Every drop's going to join another drop. Those just tiny rivulets become creeks, creeks become rivers, rivers eventually move down towards the Central Valley, the Delta, and even the oceans. So there's this branching pattern that you'll see in watersheds that's kind of dendritic or tree-like. It's similar to maybe even blood vessels, lightning, neurons, even the airways in our lungs.
Dendritic. Jess, you got this one?
Words like dendritic, dendrochronology, rhododendron, and philodendron all grow from the same root, the Greek dendron meaning tree. Dendritic means having a branching or tree-like structure. It was originally a geological term describing mineral markings that look like tiny trees branching their way across stone. By the 19th century, it was describing anything tree or branch-like in form, including crystals and rivers and, oh yeah, trees. Anatomists soon applied it to the branching structure of neurons. The Proto-Indo-European root that unites all of these words means firm or steadfast, and by extension, wood or tree. And that same ancient root also gave us an astonishing array of other, more distantly related words. For instance, it's also the source of the English word tree, which means that our word for tree and the Greek word for tree, dendron, are related through that root. But it also gave us some more beautifully figurative Germanic terms like true and trust, along with Latin descendants including duration and endure. And the unifying factor here is that firmness, that persistence, that solidity, that steadfastness. By the way, another interesting relative is the word druid, which is a word from Old Celtic that is said to literally mean oak knower.
Dendritic.
Joe is known for often saying the tree gets a vote.
The tree gets a vote. We are building in harmony with the tree. We are taking advantage of some of the amazing technical strengths that trees have. A tree will outperform a pole in almost every category, given the same size. Both vertical, lateral load bearing capacity, moment resistance, they are amazing. We are not forcing our design into the tree. We are working with the tree. The tree gets a vote. My favorite builds are always the one where the tree is kind of dictating the design. The way the trunk splits in this place, it's just inviting us to put something there that doesn't compete with the tree, but it actually complements it and allows us as humans to interact with that tree in a more meaningful way.
When you put a tab from treehouse supplies into a living tree, something unexpected happens.
It's effectively designed to perform in the tree's manner of thinking as another branch, as a limb. When that happens, as with a muscle, when you stress a muscle, the cells break down and they rebuild themselves in a stronger way to meet the new demand that they are sensing. Trees is the same thing through a process called bolstering. It will rapidly add tissue beneath the insertion site of the bulb. So effectively over time, that bolt of connection gets stronger, and our bolts are designed to take advantage of that feature of the tree. Trees will actually reconfigure themselves, reorient themselves to better bear the loads that they are experiencing on a continual basis.
Wow.
It can heal its own wounds. It can recover from massive damage. Because it is a living organism, it does have the potential for life. So as treehouse builders, it is our job to curate and protect that, and not to do anything that would prevent that from happening.
As treehouse builders, we've learned how to protect the trees the same way we protect our families and our communities. The Frisbee part, by the way, the thread that keeps showing up, Joy played, and my friend Alex, who you're going to see next, he played as well. Alex and I used to play against each other. He coached at UCLA. Then I coached, and actually Alex helped me through that process, and I traveled around the world playing. These networks become part of you if you let them. Dendritic. Where was I? Oh yeah, Alex Korb. He studies what happens in the brain when people feel happy or confident and connected, and also what happens when they don't. He wrote a book called The Upward Spiral.
Your brain is composed of billions of neurons, tiny nerve cells that provide the computing power in the brain, like billions of little microchips. Neurons are constantly talking to each other by firing electrical pulses down their long branches, which function like electrical wires. When an electrical pulse reaches the end of the branch, the neuron squirts out a chemical signal, a neurotransmitter. Neurotransmitters float into the space between neurons, the synapse, and bind to the next neuron to transmit information. So the whole brain is just billions of neurons sending electrical signals that turn into chemical signals in order to communicate. Patterns can form and become self-reinforcing. Positive thoughts and positive actions change the activity and chemistry of your brain, often in ways that make further positive thoughts and further positive actions and emotions more accessible.
I was excited to learn about the word arbor vitae. Can you tell me what that is, and if you have any sense as to why it takes the shape that it does?
Yeah, I believe that is in the cerebellum. Is they noticed this like branching pattern, and it's such a deep, crucial structure in your brain sitting right at the base of the brain. They're like, this is like the tree of life. And so they called it arbor vitae.
The types of trees and shrubs known as arborvitaes predictably get their name from the Latin term arbor vitae. And yes, according to both Merriam-Webster and the OED, the tree's name is pronounced arborvitae in English. They belong to the genus Thuja, which is from the Greek word theia, which in turn is related to a Greek verb meaning to sacrifice, evidently because its fragrant resinous wood was burned in ceremonial and religious contexts. The name arborvitae is typically credited to 16th century botanist Charles de Lecluse. According to a long-standing account, French explorers learned from Native Americans in the northeastern part of North America that the tree's foliage could be used to treat scurvy. Around 1800, anatomists also began using the term arborvitae to describe the white matter of the cerebellum when viewed in cross-section. Trees of life appear throughout cultures and religions and folklore as symbols of connection, of life, of vitality, and much more. And isn't it neat that this symbol of growth and immortality and living interconnectedness appears in one of the brain's most striking structures? As a funny footnote, in the 18th century, thieves were said to use the term arbor vitae or arborvitae as slang for a certain male appendage as well.
These are biological systems. They often follow more fractal patterns based on simple rules, moving towards the chemical signal that you're trying to reach and then like branching at certain points. And you can create these complex structures with very simple biological rules. And in forests, it's like, sunlight and other nutrients in the soil.
You started with reptiles, and then this split into birds. It kind of creates like a tree.
This pattern is kind of conserved across all of biology because this is how evolution figured out to make a biological system connect
They're all related, but evolution made them go in different directions because they're adapting to different conditions.
Humans are a social species. Our brains didn't evolve to do this all on our own. And this is one of the inherent challenges of being human, that we need other people to survive and thrive and be happy. And your brain just kind of realized in evolution, well, let's just make it rewarding and enjoyable to like connect with other people and get a hug or a kiss and have sex.
Arbor vitae me hearties, yo-ho.
But also, let's make it so it's like painful to feel excluded or rejected. That pain analogy, by the way, isn't entirely an analogy, because when you experience social rejection, it activates many of the pain circuits that would also activate if you cut yourself or hit your thumb with a hammer. And so that's why we see all these patterns, because we're all living beings.
And once you start paying attention, you realize nature is built from connection. Nothing exists completely on its own.
Our families and teachers and friends, where we learned how to be ourselves. Sometimes we're in free fall, not quite knowing where we'll land. But we're caught by the place and become part of it. And when we take that ride, we start to grow and become a part of a system that supports everything around us. Including the invisible part of the system that keeps us alive. That vibrant life that we get to experience, it's inside of us too. It's pumping through us effortlessly, helping us make meaning of who we are, how we fit in, where we come from, and helping guide us forward. Sometimes it feels like life is putting obstacles in front of us, but if we let ourselves continue to grow, we see that we're just part of one connected everything. A squirrel. Oh my gosh, you're still here. If I had known you were gonna be here, I would have put on some deodorant. We're at the part of this show that I like to call Whit's free idea. You can have the idea. Just give me credit if it's any good. If it's a bust, it's on you. Still gotta work on my wink. You can go now.
Deep in the heart of Texas, where the smoke rises and legends are born, we've forged a smoker that's tough, relentless, and surprisingly compact. Introducing the Saddlebag Smoker, sized for the modern cowboy. Big enough for a chicken leg or 2 hot dogs or maybe a dozen French fries. Handcrafted welding, born from the sparks of a grinding wheel, sings a chorus of creation. Designed by hands that know their brisket from their Boston butts, comes the little smoker, so compact it'll fit in the Saddlebag Smoker saddlebag. Yeah, you heard me right. It's not just a name, it's a promise. Stitched twice because we mean it. When you sling the Saddlebag Smoker saddlebag over your shoulder, you're carrying a legacy. You're not just a pitmaster, you're a storyteller, weaving a tapestry of smoke delights.
Yeehaw!